Greetings from the Civil War defenses of Washington. My name is Steve Fan, historian and park ranger. On the camera is the one and only David Lowe, National Park Service historian. And welcome back to another episode of the Lost Earthworks of the defenses of Washington. We are in Fort Washington, Maryland today, right by the Potomac River. And this is a very special site as a part of the defenses of Washington. It's a late war construction built in conjunction with Battery Rogers, which was built right across the river in Alexandria, Virginia. And these are coastal defenses in a sense. These will protect Washington, D.C. along the waterways. The great fear was Confederate ironclad gunships could flow up the Potomac River and shell the capital city. So beginning in 1863, federal engineers will start constructing water batteries on the Potomac River here. Chief Engineer John G. Barnard called these model earthworks. By this point in the war, the engineers in the Army had perfected construction of earthworks around Washington, D.C. The fort, named in honor of Admiral Andrew H, was built by the 9th New York Heavy Artillery, commanded by a very famous colonel, William Seward Jr., the son of the Secretary of State. Many dignitaries would come out to visit the fort to see the guns fire. Behind me is the prize piece of the defenses of Washington, one of the original 15-inch Rodman guns, weighing 49,000 pounds or 15 tons. And this gun could fire a 440-round projectile and penetrate ironclad gunships. There was at least 2 of those guns on site, combined with some 200-pound Parrott rifles. These are the largest guns in the federal arsenal in Washington, D.C. These guns will not see action during the Civil War, besides testing, but it's one of the few sites that will endure into the 1870s, and as we swing around, you're going to see why. So after the Civil War, federal engineers in the U.S. Army are trying to figure out the next evolution of coastal defense, especially from foreign navies who can steam up the Potomac River and shell the United States Capitol. So what you're going to see here is a lot of experimentation here, including these wonderful preserved concrete magazines. The Army starts replacing earthen magazines with different forms of concrete here. They're also going to try to use depression carriages to fire these 15-inch Rodman guns. You can fire the gun, it'll depress behind the wall itself for protection. And this will go until about 1874 here. There's going to be some issues. The Army can't really figure out what to do here, and it's hard to fire these guns with a peacetime commerce on the Potomac River here. So a lot of the testing will shift up to New York, and then by the 1874, Congress will withdraw funding for this project. Dave will pan around for this final shot here. You can see the other 15-inch Rodman gun. These guns were sitting on the ground, just the barrels themselves. They were remounted by the Park Service in the 1970s and 80s. So what you see here is a very, very unique site. I call it a transition fort between earthworks and the Endicott battery systems that you will see dotting the American coastline in the 1890s and early 1900s, with reinforced concrete bunkers and walls and disappearing guns. So this is a very unique site within not only the defenses of Washington, but coastal defense across the United States. So thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again. May the forts be with you. Find your fort. We are signing out. Cheers.